Hello and welcome to another community news video. This time around taking a look at the headlines for October 2018. And while October was a pretty disastrous month for the Morrowind Modding Showcase's YouTube channel here, due to a computer dying and the, inevitable breakdown of video production as a result, October was still a pretty amazing month for the community, with a ton of new mods, including a number of mods for Morrowind Modding Madness, as well as, whole new gameplay features, and much, much more. There were also a ton of new and exciting developments in the community, and as always, you'll find a breakdown of today's headlines down below with, timestamp annotations and links for each. But just, getting started here, we're going to, begin with an overview of mod releases for October. And overall, October was a bit of a, well, I would say middling month for the community, at least, as far as a number of new mods are concerned. And there was about 54 new Morrowind mods released in October, bringing the overall total for the entire year to about 628 new Morrowind mods for 2018, which means we're officially over 600 new Morrowind mods in 2018 with 2 months left to go, and that's, really pretty exciting. And at the current rate, the community will probably hit about 700 new Morrowind mods by early to mid-December, making 2018 the most active year for the community since at least 2011. Now, do keep in mind that 54 new mods for October figure does not include mods released solely on Discord, and the reason for this is simply that there's no, good way to track mods released on Discord across several different Discord channels and servers. So we're really only counting mods released on official modding platforms like the Nexus, Great House Legacy, and the Assimilation Lab. And anyway, with that cleared up, let's take a look at how October compares to the last couple of months. As previously stated, there were about 54 new mods released in October, compared to 53 in September and 81 in August. So overall, October saw a slight increase since the last month, but, mod releases are still a bit down from the summer, which is, of course, perfectly understandable. Now, compared to past years, there were about 43 new Morrowind mods released in October 2017, and 24 mods released in October 2016, which means that once again, this has been the most active October on record for the Morrowind modding community since we began recording monthly releases, and this is actually the 7th month this year to break that record. And if that doesn't show you how active the community has been lately, I don't know what will. But moving on, as always, we're going to do a brief breakdown on new MWSE and OpenMW mods. Over the course of October, there were about 10 new MWSE mods released on the Nexus, compared to 8 new OpenMW mods. And one important, caveat to make here, though, is that 7 of those 8 OpenMW mods were conversions of pre-existing Morrowind mods. And technically, there was also a 9th OpenMW mod released on the OpenMW forums for weapon sheathing based, I believe, on some of Greatness's work, but, don't quote me on that. And speaking of, October was just a pretty amazing month for new MWSE-based gameplay mods, with several high-profile mod releases, like Weapon Sheathing by Greatness 7, which adds functional sheaths for pretty much every weapon in the game. Now, much like Oblivion and Skyrim, when you put your weapon away, it'll show up at, at your hip or on your back, usually with a custom sheath. There's also quivers for bows and arrows, and this also works, for every NPC in the game, so everyone you'll meet will have their, weapons visible on them. This is just a pretty massive and beautiful new addition to the game, and it's almost certain to become, our mod of the month for October. And of course, that wasn't the only high-profile MWSE mod released in October. Another one was the UI expansion Overhaul by Null Cascade, which adds a few of the more advanced UI features found in OpenMW, as well as several other features which currently aren't available in OpenMW. This includes searching containers, spells, the ability to filter spells by spell effects, filtering containers by type of loot, and just a ton of other little additions that make using the UI a lot easier. And we'll be doing a proper showcase of this mod sometime in the future, and, we'll go into a bit more detail about everything it does then. But anyway, there were also a number of new MWSE content mods, namely related to this year's Morrowind Modding Madness, including a raiding questing system, custom gameplay and shader effects, new realms of Oblivion, and just some really crazy battle scenes. And we'll be covering all this in more detail as a part of our Morrowind Modding Madness showcase video, so, more on that in the future. Now, speaking of Morrowind Modding Madness, just to give a brief update on our, annual team-based modding competition, which was held between October 1st and October 31st, the competition is now over, with 13 new mods submitted by 7 teams, and for the most part, all the teams finished on time and submitted mods for both modding challenges, which included building a 6th house and Great House themed town mod, and a religious and ocean themed quest and landmass mod. Only one team failed to submit a mod for the final round, and I have to say, most of the mods that were submitted were just really high quality, and included some pretty massive content mods. We had probably 4 or 5 mods with 10 or more quests, which will, make the quest mod junkies out there like myself just extremely happy. And indeed, October has probably been the absolute best month so far this year for content mods, in large part, I think, thanks to Morrowind Madness and the excellent work of all the modders involved. Now, I do have the competition results back, but we're not going to go into detail about that here. Instead, we're going to save that for our second Morrowind Madness showcase video, which we're going to do in probably the next few days. But in the meantime, let me just say that everyone did an amazing job, and a special thanks goes out to all the modders for making this year's Morrowind Madness the biggest one yet. Now, just moving on to other modding news, we have a few headlines regarding the province mods and other major, modding projects, but, first, I wanted to make a quick note for those curious. It seems Wollibeebee is back after a long hiatus and is currently working on a new overhaul of Solitude Tomb of the Snowprince, the, famous landscape overhaul for Solitude that makes the island look a lot like, Skyrim. And the new version will provide better frame rates and make it easier to navigate Solitude, as the current version has been plagued with, issues for players trying to escort NPCs for years now. Wollibeebee has also announced a new project aiming to overhaul the island of Vardenfell in a, similar take to that of Unique Landscapes for Oblivion. Some more screenshots can be found on the Morrowind Community and various, province mod Discord servers. Now, both of these projects are just extremely far away from an actual, release, but I thought I'd make a note of it here because they are, very cool-looking mods, and Wollibeebee is just an exceptionally talented landscape modder. And anyway, moving on to the province mod report, Tamriel is continuing to make a lot of progress in the planning and asset department, with new updates planned for Tamriel data. There's also a few ongoing mainland edits, including a move of Ruinous Keep, which some of you may remember as a ruined imperial fort in the swamps a ways north of Almalexia. And as for exterior development, the Third Valley continues to be the focal point for most of the new progress here, just working south from the Antherian region, and heading towards the city of Narcissus, capital of Great House Lalu. And as always, you can find out more about Tamriel progress over on their Discord server, and in particular, you can see a ton of screenshots in their screenshots channel, though that's perhaps a bit obvious. But moving on to Skyrim, home of the Nords, progress is still being made on the exterior side of things for the city of Havengar, aka Solitude, as well as the other areas around the northern coast of Skyrim. I'm actually including a few screenshots here, originally posted by Rorik on the Project Tamriel Discord server, just showing the current development of Solitude. And as you can see, the city design is somewhat similar to that of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, with the stone arch that the city is built on top of. But of course, this city is much more urban and dense than, the one that you'll find in Skyrim. Now, you also find some more screenshots on their Discord server, and there's a link down below if you need it. Now, just real quick, we have an update on Lyithdonea. Melkor has officially stated that the project is still on track for its estimated 2090 release, and that's all. That's all there is to say about it. It's still, aiming for 2090, and there's nothing else to really report. Anyway, finally, for the province mods, we have a short update on Province Cyrodiil, which is building the Imperial Province for Morrowind. Progress is currently being made on the western coast of Cyrodiil, and that area is mostly finished now, with some of the northern areas still under development. Interior work is also progressing on Anvil, and some of the final remaining ocean claims, namely, detailing the ocean floor, are being finished. No word yet on when the next release for Province Cyrodiil will be, but, you can always stop by the Project Tamriel Discord server for more information. And now we do have one more quick project update from TS3MP, namely the new 0.7 update has gone into a pre-release, and this new update will include working custom spells, potions, and enchantments in a multiplayer, as well as synchronized on-strike enchantments and synchronized weather. So multiple players will now experience the same sunny skies or dreadful blight storms when in the same region. There's a few other minor updates here, but you can read more about 0.7 on the OpenMW website or, over on the TS3MP Discord server. And now, real quick, we have one more news story here, regarding Great House Fligerty and Morrowind history. Some of you may have noticed that some pages on the Fligerty website, as well as some functions like, searching for particular mods, aren't currently working. This is because Fligerty is currently in the process of transferring Great House Fligerty and Morrowind history to a new server, so, please don't panic. everything will be back to normal shortly, if it, isn't already by the time you see this video. Just, thought I'd clarify that in case anyone was worried. But anyway, that wraps up, all the major topics for October. And as always, there's a link down below where you can vote for the best mods of October. And you also find links for everything else that we talked about, down there as well. So thanks for watching, and tune in next month for another episode of Morrowind's Community News.